Ɔdadeɛ Radio. Like us on Facebook at Ɔdadeɛ Radio. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Ɔdadeɛ Radio. You can WhatsApp or call us on 0200-092925.
You are listening to The Breeze, live on Ɔdadeɛ Radio. This is The Breeze on Ɔdadeɛ Radio.
Shining high, gather round, let's do it once again. I promise you will have a good time. Let's do it the best way that we know. Dancing highlight, calypso dancing, moonlight music. Let's come together to the limbo. Dancing highlight, calypso dancing, sunshine music. Let's come together to the limbo. Come on now, the sun is shining high. Gather round, let's do it once again. I promise you will have a good time. Let's do it the best way that we know. Dancing highlight, calypso dancing, moonlight music. Let's come together to the limbo. Dancing highlight, calypso dancing, sunshine music. Let's come together to the limbo. Dancing highlight, calypso dancing, moonlight music. Let's come together to the limbo. Dancing highlight, calypso dancing, sunshine music. Let's come together to the limbo.
Ɔdadeɛ Radio. Like us on Facebook at Ɔdadeɛ Radio. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Ɔdadeɛ Radio. You can WhatsApp or call us on 0200-092925.
You are listening to The Breeze, live on Ɔdadeɛ Radio.
Let's get on it. Let's do it again. Moonlight music. Let's come together to the limbo. Let's get on it. Let's do it again. Sunshine music will make you feel so good. Dancing, let's get on it. Calypso, let's do it again. Moonlight music. Let's come together to the limbo. Dancing, let's get on it. Calypso, let's do it again. Sunshine music will make you feel so good.
Ɔdadeɛ Radio. Like us on Facebook at Ɔdadeɛ Radio. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Ɔdadeɛ Radio. You can WhatsApp or call us on 0200-092925.
You are live on The Breeze on Ɔdadeɛ Radio. This is The Breeze on Ɔdadeɛ Radio. You are listening to The Breeze, live on Ɔdadeɛ Radio.
Ɔdadeɛ Radio. Ɔdadeɛ Radio. Like us on Facebook at Ɔdadeɛ Radio. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Ɔdadeɛ Radio. You can WhatsApp or call us on 0200 092925.
Come on out, the sun is shining high. Gather round, let's do it once again. I promise you will have a good time. Let's do it the best way that we know. Dancing highlight, calypso dancing, moonlight music. Let's come together and do the limbo. Dancing highlight, calypso dancing, sunshine music. Let's come together and do the limbo. Come on out, the sun is shining high. Gather round, let's do it once again. I promise you will have a good time. Let's do it the best way that we know. Dancing highlight, calypso dancing, moonlight music. Let's come together and do the limbo. Dancing highlight, calypso dancing, sunshine music. Let's come together and do the limbo. Dancing highlight, calypso dancing, moonlight music. Let's come together and do the limbo.
This is the breeze on Adziri.
Music. Let's come together and do the limbo.
And it's my singular honor this morning to welcome you to yet another radio experience. This morning is live here on Ɔdadeɛ Radio. Wherever you're tuning in, a very good morning and thank you so much for tuning in to Ɔdadeɛ Radio, Ghana's finest digital radio. And of course, we are live via the Zeno FM radio app. You can as well download the Ɔdadeɛ Radio app and listen to us 24/7. We are as well live on Radio Garden. This morning we are streaming live as well on our Facebook, and our YouTube is Ɔdadeɛ Radio. So wherever you're tuning in and wherever you're watching us from, I welcome you to the Monday edition of The Breeze on the 27th of November 2023. Still in the year of our Lord, creeping gradually into the month of December. And this morning, let me use the opportunity to say kudos to the Ɔdadeɛ 1998-year group for putting up a wonderful speech and prize giving day this past Saturday. It has been a very exciting moment this weekend on the campuses of the Presbyterian Boys Secondary School. And also kudos going out to the 1993 SHS year group for successfully handing over their legacy projects, renovating the administration block and the staff common room to on our ultra-modern setting. In fact, it's very, very beautiful to see all that happening over the weekend here on the Preset campus. So, of course, we are all proud of that, yes, and let's show that love, let's show that support, and keep fighting on Thank you once again for joining us on Ɔdadeɛ Radio. Shine the light. On behalf of the production team led by executive producer Mr. Johnny Adofenino, aka Ɔdadeɛ Zonda, and Ɔdadeɛ Edward Kofi, aka Edifico, and the rest of the team. My name is Joseph Oti. You can as well refer to me as DJ Use. I'm here till 12 midday. And this morning I've got a wonderful interview coming up for you this morning. I hope you do stay tuned for that coming up shortly. I have a very old Ɔdadeɛ in the house from the 1962 year group. This morning I'm going to be joined by Ɔdadeɛ Professor Adziri Wellington. And we are going to have a conversation basically about his upcoming book launch. That's the book launch event coming up on Friday, the 1st of December 2023 from 5:30 to 7:45 p.m. It will take place at the Trinity United Church, Legon, Vicenico Street. That is the Trinity Theological College, right beside Preset Campus. It's a very big invitation going out to all Ɔdadeɛs and everybody to come witness the book launch of Ɔdadeɛ Professor Adziri Wellington. So he will be here. We'll talk a bit more about the book launching, the invitation and everything that we need to watch out for come Friday, the 1st of December 2023. So please do stay tuned for that. We are going to talk about the title of the book, what the book is all about, and everything that we need to know this morning here on The Breeze. Remember to join us if you have any comments, questions, or thoughts. It is welcome on our WhatsApp platform on 02000 92925. That is 02000 92925. Do share your thoughts or questions or comments if you have anything that you really want to ask Prof. It is welcome. You can begin to send them through on 02000 92925. And also remember to leave a comment on our Facebook and YouTube stream. We'll also pick it up. YouTube is Ɔdadeɛ Radio, and on Facebook Ɔdadeɛ Radio and Ɔdadeɛ Radio Ghana. So without wasting much time, Prof is already seated comfortably, and he's going to tell us more on this book and all that we need to know. This morning, let me say a very good morning to Ɔdadeɛ Major. Good morning, sir, wherever you find yourself. I hope you join us for the interview, and of course, everything that is in. If you have any questions, you can as well send it to us, and we'll put it across. So, Prof, like I said, is already seated. Let me welcome Prof into our studios this morning. Prof, good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
And how are you doing this morning?
By God's grace, I'm fine. Thank you very much.
Yes, I'm also doing very well.
Praise God.
I'm also doing very well, and
Yes.
so happy to meet you this morning.
Right.
I'm so much excited.
Yes, I'm also very, very excited. Yes.
Prof, and to begin with, like Ɔdadeɛ yourself, we'd like to throw back a little bit and talk about your school days and
Yes.
some of the founding memories you have.
Yes.
But before we jump into that, just this weekend was the speech and prize giving day ceremony, and to also mark the 85th anniversary of the Presbyterian Boys Secondary School.
Yeah.
Please share any thoughts that you want to put across now.
Thank you very much. To start with, I would like to say thank you very much to the management of Ɔdadeɛ Radio.
Yes.
I'm very grateful to God for this opportunity given to me to be in the studio this morning to share fellowship with all the Ɔdadeɛs who are listening to me and to the rest of the public. I'm very grateful indeed. Now, going back to the question you raised about my thoughts on the weekend activities. Yes, I was told about the activities, and I was very, very impressed about the outcome, especially the projects which have been passed on.
Yes, the legacy project by the 1993 year group and then the 1998 year group as well.
That's right. Yes. And I want to also add my voice to the commendation for the excellent work they've done. Yes, I was part of the 85th anniversary Deba.
Okay.
I was there in my full colors.
Okay, nice.
And together with some of my classmates. And we were very, very happy to observe that our own classmate, Honorable Professor Aaron Michael Okwe,
yes,
was the chair for that program.
Yes.
We're very, very proud indeed. We all felt we were part of the chairmanship. So it was a great delight to be there on that occasion. Thankfully, it didn't rain, and we had a very beautiful occasion.
In fact, it was very colorful.
It was. I was highly impressed, and I was very delighted.
Yes.
And also very grateful to God that I was alive to experience this great occasion. Yeah, so it's all brought back to me very, very happy memories of our days at Krobodumasi. The original, we always say that the original presec.
Yes, original presec grounds.
The original presec grounds, exactly, yes. So this morning, as I'm here, my mind is filled up with all the very happy memories I have of those days at Krobodumasi. We were then young, quite young at that time. And, as young boys were involved in all sorts of, funny activities. And I remember my classmates were calling me Jim Crow.
Because that was your nickname?
That was my nickname.
Okay, Jim Crow.
Jim Crow. They also add a Kapor to my name because, I love to play football, and at that time there was Adziri Finn, who was a great House of Oak player, who was called Kapor. So my classmates, as usual, they passed on the name to me.
To you.
Became my nickname. So I was Jim Crow, and I was also Kapor.
Okay. Okay.
Now,
very interesting.
Yeah, we had very, very dedicated teachers at that time. Ordinary teachers, but they had great sense of commitment and gave all that they had to us. And I would say that what I am today goes back to what we received from those wonderful teachers. At that time, our headmaster was the Reverend E.J. Klufio. Yeah, he was, when we were in Form 2, he was our Latin teacher.
Okay.
And he taught us Latin like teaching mathematics. I mean, you have to be sharp, on your feet to be able to cope with his questions. And I used to wear glasses. What I'm wearing now is not medicated. It's just to reduce the amount of light penetrating into
your eyes.
But I used to wear glasses for reading. And at one of the classes of Klufio teaching us from Form 2, I mean, the questions were coming in barrages. I started sweating. My whole face was, beaming with sweat. So my eyes, the glasses got blurred. I couldn't see what I was, supposed to be reading. And I was supposed to translate from English into Latin a sentence. And I ended by saying, Nicatus sum. That means I am dead. Then the headmaster said, yes, Wellington, indeed, you have been killed by Latin. I never forgot that incident,
So it means that you mentioned the Latin word, but you referred to it as a dead.
No, Nicatus sum means I am dead.
Okay, it means you are dead.
At the end of the translation, I ended in Latin by saying that, which was completely ridiculous. But it was very much related to my situation because I was feeling great stress at that time. As I said, my eyes, my face was beaming with sweat. My whole glasses was, blurred because of the sweat. So indeed, at the end, I could only say Nicatus sum.
Which means,
of course, I didn't know what I was saying.
Means I'm dead.
I'm dead. Well, these are the good old days.
That's very interesting. That's very interesting. Yes. But really talking about Presec this year marking the 85th anniversary from great Ɔdadeɛs like yourself. I believe that casting your mind from the days of Presec Odumasi to Presec Legon. How have you seen the experience? Do you see the school progressing from your point of view? Do you see the school really achieving from what it's supposed to be?
Oh, yes, by all means. I mean, the school, as I said, has been virtually living the essence of the school anthem.
Okay.
You know, in the light, we shall see light. And in fact, Presec today is demonstrating that very biblical truth, that in the light of God, Presec is beaming the light. We are now the pace setters in Ghana in many regards, in the sciences, in the humanities, you know, in the visuals, in the you know, in the art industry. Presec is everywhere. I mean, Presecans are everywhere. And when I think about my classmates, I mean, we've gone on to be the light in almost all the areas where we entered. As I said at the beginning, Right Honorable Aaron Michael Okwe was our classmate, or is my classmate.
Okay.
You know, I mean, he achieved the highest in his career as a politician. I mean, to come to the point where you could have been the head of state. I mean, he was the head of state for some few days when he was acting. I mean, that was a greatest achievement.
Yeah.
And of course, that was not only in politics, but in academia. I mean, he rose to the level of being a full professor in the political science division which he specialized in. Of course, he went into law and he became a very, very successful lawyer. In addition to Mike, there are other people like lawyer, I call him lawyer Penyin Yeboah Amwa. Because he was so good at Latin, he changed his name from Yeboah Amwa, which, you know, in Latin, the A makes you, you know, I mean, gives a feminine gender. Okay. You know, so he made it Yebus Amus to become, and up to today, we call him that. Okay. You know,
Yebus Amus.
Yebus Amus. Yeah. Because Yeboah Amwa is feminine.
Okay.
And Yebus Amus is masculine.
Nice.
Right.
Nice.
And then there are people like Professor Okole. I mean, he was a brilliant student. I mean, I remember when we were doing ADMATs, there were exercises which were given to us, which the teacher expected that none of us could have done it. But he did. I mean, without any assistance. And he has remained to be like that. He became a very accomplished and highly acknowledged professor in the US in engineering. Then people like Kuonu, who was our class prefect at that time. He was a very feeble person. I remember the story about he being referred to as the sick fowl because the English teacher would ask him to go down to the roadside to pronounce his name because in class, when he said his name, nobody could hear it. Oh, okay. So he would stand down there, you know, near the roadside. He said, "Kuonu," and then the English teacher would ask, "Who is that sick fowl over there?"
So it was by the name it was by the way he pronounced
his name. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Yes, and many others. You know, today I can feel very proud that I am in their company. Yeah. Because you know, I wasn't the best student at that time, but by God's grace, I've reached the highest point in academia. Yeah. You know, I'm a full professor of architecture. You know, and at the time I was leaving KNUST, I was the acting pro-vice chancellor. I mean, that's the level at which I went. And I wasn't the best student in the class, but yet, somehow, because of the kind of milieu in which I found myself when I was growing up, I had that kind of inspiration to go higher and higher. In the typical Presec traditions, because the light, which is shining, we have to follow it.
Follow the light.
And the light took us to the highest level. Oh, so I have very happy memories of my days in Okrobodumasi. Wow. Yeah.
Prof, did you complete in Okrobodumasi or you completed?
No, I was one of the students who chose a very, very unusual set of subjects. Okay. I was a pure science student. I was doing biology, chemistry, physics. But I added art to it. but because at that time art belonged more to the humanities. But because I've been directed to study architecture, which I have read that to be an architect you must be a generalist, you must know everything. So I eventually studied everything. So by the time I left Presec, I went straight to the KNUST. Many of my classmates went to the sixth form in other schools, but I went straight to the KNUST to start my architectural education.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is how my career path had been. And as I've said, by God's grace, I reached the highest point in my development.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very, very, very interesting to note. And I'm sure that you should be proud of that year by now. Like,
certainly.
Very
Yes.
proud
Certainly.
of the achievement, the many achievements
Exactly.
that the school has been able to put up.
Exactly.
Ɔdadeɛ like yourself, when you hear Presec winning the NSMQ trophy, how does that make you feel? Like your year group, your kind of year group,
Exactly.
2.
Yes.
Does that really boost your morale?
Oh, yes.
Does that really
Certainly.
bring some sort of feeling to
Certainly.
you guys?
You can imagine my excitement when I heard that they have made the 8.
Did you watch it live?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I didn't watch it.
You watched it. Woke up to
because
live. Okay.
I wasn't feeling too well at that time.
Okay.
But in the previous on a previous occasion, I've joined Professor Michael Quay to entertain the winners when they came.
Okay.
So I'm looking very much forward this time to joining them for having achieved the 8th. Broken the 8th, so to speak. When we meet with Professor Michael Quay later on. Yes. So I was very, very excited and felt very proud also. In fact, the quiz mistress is a fellow colleague of mine at the Academy of Arts and Sciences.
Oh, I see.
And I told her that, yes, she helped my school to break the 8th, for which I'm very grateful.
Oh, nice. All right, so to our listeners and our viewers, those of you and those of us watching on YouTube and Facebook and listening to us also on the radio streaming, we are here this morning having a very wonderful conversation with Professor Adziri Wellington. And it's very, very exciting, sharing some thoughts and some good moments from the Odumase Krobo time where Presec started off. And in fact, very interesting. He said his nickname was Jim Crew. Which his mates gave it to
but
him.
I told my mates that Jim Crow died whilst at the KNUSC. Okay. I got converted, I became a Christian.
Okay.
And that changed my life altogether.
So at KNUSC, did you also get a nickname?
Well, I can't remember but my students later on gave me the nickname Welle. Because I was always demanding high standards.
Okay. Somebody whispered that to me. Okay, that's very interesting. Prof, you are set to launch your book on Friday.
Yeah.
And Friday 1st December.
Yeah.
Prof, can you let us in on this new book that you are bringing up?
Yeah. First, I would like to say that I'm very grateful to God.
Okay.
That on the day when the book will be launched, I will turn 81 years old.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow. So come this Friday.
I will be 81.
Okay.
So it's my 81st birthday that I'm launching this book.
Wow. Prof, let me use the opportunity from all of us here at Ɔdadeɛ Radio and the Ɔdadeɛ fraternity to wish you a happy birthday in advance.
Advance one.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful.
So,
now,
yes.
On that day, we'll have the book which I worked on for the past 2 or 3 years brought into the public realm.
Okay.
The book is titled Ake Bulan Duo.
Okay.
Ake Bulan Duo.
Okay.
And Heritage Tales from Sanche. One will wonder why this kind of sophisticated title.
Okay.
But the title expresses exactly what the book content is. The book is a novel. It's a Christian novel. And it's episodic, as the literary scholars would say. Episodic in the sense that the novel has 2 episodes.
Okay.
Episode 1 and episode 2. It happened that way because it's a story within a story. The Ake Bulan duo is about a saga of two ancient Africans.
Is it a Latin word?
No, the word duo is Latin.
Okay.
It means two.
Okay.
Ake Bulan, it might interest you to know, is that the ancient name of Africans. In fact, from my research, I got to know that the word Africa or Africans was given to the people of this continent by the Greeks, which then became popularized by the Romans.
Okay.
Because, you know, the Greeks and the Romans were having interaction with the ancient Africans on the northern part of Africa, you know, around the Mediterranean Sea. So they gave the name Africa because of the color of our skin. But before they gave us that name, we as the black people were calling ourselves Ake Bulan. That means mother of humanity.
Okay.
And this information was derived from the publications of Sheikh Anta Diop, who was a physicist who turned to become a heritage scholar. In his deep research, he discovered that the ancient name of Africa was Ake Bulan because it was believed that we were the first original human beings on planet Earth.
Okay.
And Africa was the Garden of Eden, so to speak. Now, archaeology is now proving that fact, that the human race started from Africa and we migrated to many parts of the world. As they migrated, those who went to the colder climate had to adapt themselves, you know, to suit the climate. So their color, black, changed into white or fair, so to speak, and so forth. So when I discovered this information from Anta Diop, I decided that I will explore it to know what is God's plan for this black race, which was the first of human creation. Now, and I discovered that, you know, in the Bible, a number of references have been made to Africans, you know, black people, in God's activities dealing with the human race. For example, I discovered that in the book of Mark, the Gospel of Mark, the man Simon of Cyrene was mentioned as the one who was forced by the Romans to carry the cross of Jesus when Jesus collapsed under the weight of the cross just before he left the walls of Jerusalem. You know, he was tried by Pontius Pilate, and he was because of the pressure Pilate had from the Jews, he was crucified. I mean, he was sentenced for crucifixion. And the Romans at that time had the crucifixion as a way of, you know, terminating the life of a criminal. Now, it was the practice that when you have been condemned to go to the cross to die, you carry your own cross. And this should take place outside the walls of Jerusalem at a place called Golgotha, the place of the skull. So Jesus, after the you know, the sentence, was carrying the cross from Jerusalem to go outside. You know, he was very exhausted. He had lost a lot of blood. You know, all the mental strain he had gone through the previous day. You know, the trial, and then the ridiculing, and then the torture he received from the Romans at that time, made him to be so weak that he couldn't carry the cross any longer. So he collapsed. And just at that material moment, there appeared Simon of Cyrene. He was an African. Cyrene is today Libya, right? Now, so he was forced by the Romans to help Jesus carry the cross. Now, when I reflected on that, it gave me a very deep meaning of what God has in mind with the black people. Now, if Jesus had died in within Jerusalem, he wouldn't have been able to fulfill the requirements of the Messiah, that the Messiah should die outside the walls of Jerusalem, because he was a sacrificial lamb. And at that time, the sacrificial lamb was made to go out of the walls of Jerusalem to go into the plains because he was carrying the sins of the people. So he had to take the sins out of Jerusalem. Now, so if Jesus had died in within Jerusalem, it wouldn't have been possible for him to bring salvation, what God had in mind. So God provided a person as an African to help fulfill his plan of salvation for the human race. Do you think God did this for fun? No. Because of the deep intention he had to bless Africans in a special way. That's why he provided Simon of Cyrene to do this. Now, so I began to reflect on this, and this led me to combining Simon of Cyrene with Barabbas, whom in my imagination I made him to be an African or a person of an African descent. Okay. Now, these two people from the story, from the novel, were told about Philip the evangelist, who had met an Ethiopian man who had come to Jerusalem to worship. Now, this Ethiopian Enoch was going back, very unfulfilled. So God gave instructions to Philip the evangelist to meet him on his way to in the Gaza Street, to back to Africa. And so Philip then led this Ethiopian Enoch, an African, to Christ, because he was reading about the Messiah from the book of Isaiah, which he didn't understand. So Philip explained to him, and he understood. And he requested to be baptized, to become the first disciple of Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. He was an African. Okay. So the two, Simon of Cyrene and Barabbas, were told by Philip about this African. So they decided that they would go to Africa to go and look for him and help him to propagate the gospel of Jesus Christ. That's what the whole story is about. So it's a saga, it's a series of events which these two people went through. Now, it became a story which was told by a man called Atafokoyi, whom I created in my imagination. Mm-hmm. And this man, Atafokoyi, took a group of children to the place called Sanche. Sanche was a place which was established by a man called Frederick Noedewona. Okay. Eventually was mentioned a nickname Manche Fetreke. Now, this man had been sent to Denmark in the 19th century. The Danes were very deeply involved in the transatlantic slave trade, and they had Osu as their headquarters. So Noedewona had come from Osu. He was a son of the then chief. So he was a prince. He was sent to Denmark, and whilst in Denmark, he got to know about Jesus Christ, because he was made to relate to one Professor Rask, who was trying to translate a book into Ga, the Ga language, to be used by the Danish administration in the castle to teach the local children. Now, Noedewona, from the historical facts we have, when he came back to Osu, he realized that the Danes were still involved illegally in the transatlantic slave trade. The people of Osu were also doing the same thing. So he got fed up, he got so disappointed, and decided to leave Osu, and he went to the Accra Plains beyond Dodoa to set up a village of refuge, that any runaway slave who found his way to this village was set free. Now, so I used that as a basis to develop the story of Atafokoyi taking the children to this place, and whilst they were there, Atafokoyi was telling them about the stories which Noedewona used to tell the runaway slaves, to encourage them to have hope and have a sense of perseverance. Now, so the novel is the story which was being told by Atafokoyi to the children, because Atafokoyi was very much knowledgeable about the Ghanaian heritage. He was using the opportunity also to tell the children some of the cultural heritage properties which we used to have, but which people are now losing sight of. So the book consists of the story about the two Asian Africans as well as the heritage of Ghana.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So it's much more of history-based book, which if you get to read it, you get to understand or have a deeper understanding of all this that you are talking about.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Please, is this your first book?
No, this would be my third book.
Okay.
The first book I wrote is titled Stones Tell Stories at Osu.
Okay.
It has to be Stones Tell Stories at Osu.
Is that a copy you gave me?
Exactly. That's the second edition.
Okay.
You know, the book became so popular that within 11 months, the 1,000 copies which were published, which were printed, got finished.
Okay.
So people were asking for more.
Okay.
And the Danish government got to know about this book. So they decided that they would sponsor a second edition, so that when the Queen of Denmark visited Ghana in 2017, the book would be launched in her presence to commemorate her visit to Ghana. Okay. So that's the second edition which I gave to you. Okay. You know, and that book, as a result of the success it had, you know, in terms of the fact that it went right throughout the world. In fact, there are copies on Amazon, where you can buy them. You know, people keep on coming to ask. People come from Denmark, come from the U.S., come from South Africa to come and ask about this book. So that inspired me to continue to think more about what I can do. You know, as a scholar. I don't regard myself as a writer because I'm an architect. I'm an architect by profession. And I'm an architect by scholarship. You know, but when I finished teaching at Legon, at KUSC, Legon invited me to come and help the Department of Archaeology to widen the scope of archaeology into heritage studies. And that's where I got very deeply involved in heritage matters, you know, which made me to, get a lot of knowledge about our heritage, which I incorporated into this third book, which I've just completed, which is going to be launched on 1st December.
1st December. Auke Bulandu and Heritage Tales from Sanche. An uncommon classical and heritage novel, a must read from Ɔdadeɛ Professor Ni Adziri, Wellington. The book is just going to launch on 1st December 2023. Like I did mention, Trinity United Church here in Legon. That is the Trinity Theological College is where the book is going to be launched this Friday. So, Prof, looking at this new book, so it means that the new book was inspired by the Stones Tell Stories at Osu.
Yes, yes. And I must say that the message of that book, Stones Tell Stories, is that the evil of the transatlantic slave trade should never be repeated. You know, the book is to advocate the fact that the human race must turn its back on slave trading in any form which it manifests. Now, so when in my research, I discovered that slave trading had gone on much earlier than the transatlantic slave trade, or in Africa. There was a trans-Sahara slave trade, which got many of the people from West Africa shipped to Rome and to Arabia and to the Far East. Now, so the book has the message that God's intention for the African race is beyond the slave trading. So the book carries a message of hope that, especially to young people who are in Africa, who are in the diaspora, that there's something best ahead of the black race, who shall become the true mother of humanity in the future. All the signs are showing that, yes, Africa has a future. And I want young people to rise to that occasion, to prepare themselves, to take up leadership positions, you know, in wherever they will be. Just like Pre-Seconds are taking leadership position everywhere.
In their rightful places.
The rightful place. Yes. So that's the message of this book.
So please, who would you recommend this book especially for, in terms of the content that it delivers?
First and foremost, I have in mind the Christian church in Ghana. And then I have in mind the youth of this nation. Then I have in mind the youth, the African youth, who have now, through migration, gone to many parts of the world.
Okay.
So
The diaspora.
the so-called diaspora. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So the book is going to be available, I think, from Friday, when it's finally launched.
Yes.
So that all those targeted people can
Yeah.
be able to get copies and then read as well.
Exactly.
Prof, let's talk about the book launching event properly.
Good.
Who and who can be can attend,
Good.
and how are we through invitation and some dignitaries that are coming for this event?
Now, first, let me make reference to the publisher,
Okay.
because without the publisher, the book couldn't have been launched.
Okay.
It couldn't have been published. It couldn't have been printed. So, Digi Books Limited
Okay.
is the publisher,
Okay.
and they are assisting an events organizer to have the book launch.
Okay.
My interest, listeners, to know that the chairman for the occasion
Mm-hmm.
will be no one else, but Right Honorable Professor Aaron Michael Okwe. He will be in the chair.
Okay, the chairman for the
For the
occasion.
occasion.
Okay.
The guest of honor is Ɔdadeɛ Global President, Dr. Ernest Ofori Sapon. And then the author is an Ɔdadeɛ person.
Okay.
So that day is an Ɔdadeɛ
Ɔdadeɛ day.
That's right.
It will be 1st December, and I'm sure that it's also will be a farmers' holiday.
Exactly. Yes.
So we'll make the time to be there
Exactly.
to support Prof.
Yeah.
To actually get this launching underway. I was talking about the invitation. Who
Everybody
can attend?
everybody is invited.
Okay.
Because the Accra World Book Capital Project, which is a United Nations UNESCO project,
Okay.
is collaborating or partnering with me to have the book launch, and is supposed to promote the work of the Accra World Book Capital project,
Okay.
and it's meant to let everybody be interested in reading. So the book launch is for everybody who can come.
Okay.
The Trinity United Church Hall is large enough to take everybody in Accra who may come.
There's a comment here, a message here from Lucy Abeye, and he's saying that Prof, I want to know. He said there's a popular notion that if you want to hide something from the African, put it in a book. Prof, she's asking whether that phrase and the book and all the content that you are putting out there will it not be hidden from us?
No, I don't believe in that.
Okay.
Because now people have started reading.
A lot.
Anytime I go to the University of Ghana bookshop, the so-called Kingdom bookshop, I'm amazed at the number of books which are being turned out by authors.
Okay.
And the rate at which people are buying. That gives me that confidence that this book will be read. Therefore, I haven't hidden anything in it. All that is in there is supposed to be read.
So that you get to understand.
Your history and to be knowledgeable about the past of Africa, which will give you a source of inspiration to be able to look forward positively ahead of you. Wow. So the lady who made that statement,
Lucy, yes,
it's a popular statement, but it's no longer holding.
Okay, that statement doesn't hold again.
No longer.
So Lucy,
so
that is for you.
The situation has changed. Yes.
We are in a different world now. And it's all good. I'll give my colleague in the studio, Nicholas. I don't know if you have any question to possibly pose to Prof before us we are wrapping up.
Prof, good morning, good afternoon. Because I see that it's just barely 12.
Okay,
Prof, besides the people who would attend physically, is there opportunity for people to join online? Because this book is also for the diaspora and people all over.
Exactly. Yes, the events organizer was discussing this with me this morning.
Okay.
And thankfully, the Trinity United Church has the facility to do streaming.
To transmit.
But she told me that at an extra cost.
Okay.
So we are going to mobilize
Discuss
the funds.
that. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
To, yeah.
And we're also planning to put it live on Ɔdadeɛ radio.
Fantastic.
As well. So I'm sure that
people can catch the feed
yes,
on Ɔdadeɛ radio
as well.
So as long as we know the link, we'll share it.
And everybody will get to watch and view the event.
Yeah.
It's a very wonderful book,
Yeah.
and that I'm sure that we should all be trooping in on that day to go witness the launch.
Yeah.
Prof, where would it be available after the launch, the book?
Well, we are thinking of at least 4 places.
Okay.
First, there will be books at the Kingdom Bookshop at Legon.
Okay.
Then there will be books available at the EPP bookshop. And then thirdly, there will be books available at DigiBooks.
Okay.
The publishers, they have also placed. And then of course, there will be books also available in my house.
Okay.
Just like the Stones Tell Stories, many people have been coming to buy books.
Buy from your house.
When you come to buy a book from my house, then I autograph it.
Excellent.
So I want to encourage people who won't be at the book launch, where when you buy our autograph, if you want to buy later on, come to my house and you get an autograph copy.
Autograph copy. And Prof has given us an autograph copy.
That's good.
Prof has given us an autograph copy of his first book, which is the Stones Tell Stories at Osu.
That's right.
And he's autographed it for us.
That's right.
And we are so proud of that. I'm sure that we are also going to get a copy of the new book when it's finally launched on Friday. So that is very interesting. Nicholas, anything more to add as we wrap it up with Prof?
So a bit about, I'm sure we are going to, like we were discussing earlier, we're going to have Prof on personality profile pretty soon.
Yeah. Prof will have to
so he tells us a bit more of his life journey, how he started. But I hear a number of things related to Osu.
Okay.
So whilst he's here, Prof, what's your linkage to Osu, and do you only come from Osu or you have other linkages?
Well,
I'm asking this because I have a friend online called Kalian. Kalian says that she's related to Prof in a way and some other people.
Yes.
But her line is a bit of La, so I want to know the linkage, the Osu linkage and the La linkages and all of that.
All right. Yes. I must say that I'm a Ghanaian to start with.
I like that.
That's what I used to tell my students when I was in Bansi. First and foremost, I am a Ghanaian.
Yeah.
Then also by family history, I am a bit of Osu, a bit of Accra, Gamashi.
That's cool.
A bit of Akropong, Ekwapim.
Wow.
My great-great-grandfather, I'm the 4th generation of the late Reverend Theophilus Opoku.
Wow.
Now, I'm mentioning that because his name comes up when we were doing research in the transatlantic slave trade.
Okay.
He was the one who walked all the way from Ekwapim to Salaga to research, to find the state of the condition of living of the enslaved people. Salaga was the slave market which the Ashantis created, from which people were brought from the northern part of the country to be brought to the coast to be sold to the Europeans.
Yes.
Theophilus Opoku in 1877 walked all the way from Ekropong to Salaga.
Wow, that's a long journey.
Yes, it took him quite a number of days. And according to his record, his diary, he crossed about 7 or 8 major rivers.
Wow.
Right. Anyway, so that's part of my
your heritage.
Genealogy. Yeah, my heritage. Yeah. Now, then, if I want to go into details, my name suggests that I have a bit of European sort of connections.
Yeah.
Now, the name Wellington was given to our father's father because he worked with a British doctor who was called Wellington at the castle.
That's true.
Now, but I discovered that my father's mother had a bit of Danish blood.
Wow.
God, she might have been one of the richest.
Okay.
I got to know her when I was quite young. I have good remembrance, recollections of her. She was tall. She was a bit light skinned. She had a large ears, pointed nose. and you could see all the European heritage.
Yeah.
Now, but because she was not a male, she didn't have the registered name.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Now, then my father's father had migrated from Gamashi.
Okay.
His father was also involved at that time in the slave trading.
Okay.
At that time, when they say Niache,
Okay.
it means you are money, but money from slave trading.
Okay.
He had his own colleagues in the family of the locals, at Osu.
Okay.
So this grandfather of mine was brought to Osu to be with the local family, birds of the same feather flock together.
Mm-hmm.
So he stayed on, he grew up in Osu, he got married to a woman from the Osu Alata royal home. That's why the current Osu Alata Manche is my cousin.
Okay.
In fact, I was supposed to have been, but I turned my back on that. Because as an Ɔdadeɛ, I'm called to do some other things. Anyway.
That's right.
Prof will have to tell us more on personality profile.
Yes.
He's
Okay.
definitely coming.
Because I'm sure that he has a lot to tell.
We'll reserve those questions for personality profile.
Prof has a lot to share, and we'll be waiting to hear that as the younger generation to also help us to, shape our future and everything. And we are looking out for that. So basically, we are just about wrapping up. But let me once again send a very big invitation for the book launching to all the Ɔdadeɛ fraternity, to everybody, to the general public. You are most welcome to join us on Friday, 1st December 2023. Time is 5:30 p.m. to 7:45 p.m. The book launch event will take place at the Trinity United Church premises at Legon. That is the Trinity Theological College here in Legon. And we have the publishers of the book being Digi Books, Ghana Limited. Chairman for the occasion will be Right Honorable Professor Aaron Michael Okwe, and who is the former Speaker of Parliament of the Republic of Ghana, and the Global Head Boy, Presec Legon, Old Boys Association. Dr. Enes Ofori Sapon, CEO, Special Group of Companies and Alumni Global President, Presec Legon, Old Boys Association, will be the guest of honor, including various dignitaries who will be there on that very day to witness the book launch, title Aki Bulon, Duo and Heritage Tales from Sanche on Uncommon Classical and Heritage Novel, put together by Ɔdadeɛ Professor Adziri Wellington. So be there to join us. The launch of the book will be in partnership with the Accra World Book Capital 2023 project. And like I said, all are cordially invited to join us on that very day. Prof, before you take leave of us, I'm sure it's your first time here in the studios of Ɔdadeɛ Radio.
Certainly.
Please, how do you find our setup? How do you find this project, which was made for the school by the 1981 year group as their legacy project whilst they celebrate their 40th anniversary? Please, what is your opinion of the studio and Ɔdadeɛ Radio?
I am overwhelmed.
Thank you.
I am amazed about the good thing which has happened here.
Yes.
And I want to highly commend the 81 year group for coming up with such a brilliant idea to develop such a facility.
Yeah.
I don't know where such a thing exists in any other school.
No, we are the first.
Exactly.
To have that, we have that in the senior high school.
Exactly.
In Ghana.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's just fantastic to come and experience this. I feel so much at home because I can see all around me Presec Ɔdadeɛ Radio.
And the colors.
The colors, all the colors are here.
Exactly.
On my right, on my left, on my back, on my front. And I feel so good to be here.
Yes.
So I want to say thank you very much for
Prof.
giving me the opportunity to have this platform to invite people to come to the book launch on 1st December to share with me my 81st birthday.
So yes, we are forgetting that. We are also going to share that day alongside Prof 81st birthday. So it's going to be a wonderful and a momentous occasion on that very day, which you need to be there. Prof, any advice for the younger generation, especially the young crop of students in Presec right now, before you leave?
Yes. They should know that they have a solid foundation. I mean, not any young Ghanaian will have this opportunity to belong to Presec Legon. It's a unique opportunity I believe God has given to these young people to be here.
Yes.
So that the future will belong to them. This foundation which you are on at the moment is giving you a platform to, as it were, soar higher and higher and higher in the future. So please, don't take it for granted that you are here. Make the best use of the time you are here. What you learn in the classroom, what you learn in the assembly hall, what you learn in the dining hall, what you learn in the dormitories, what you learn on the playing fields, all should be part of the things which form the foundation on which you are standing. And don't take it for granted. Take full advantage of it.
Wow. Prof, we are so much grateful for your time this morning here on Ɔdadeɛ Radio. And come Friday, we'll be there to give all our support and also make sure we broadcast this to our audience to also be part of the book launch come Friday.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof. We are so grateful once again. We have to end it here this morning. We've been speaking to Ɔdadeɛ Professor Ni Adziri Wellington of the 1962 year group, all the way from Odumase Krobo. I mean, the pioneers of Presec, Presbyterian Boys Secondary School. It's such an honor to have you, sir. Thank you once again. And we are wrapping up. Professor Adziri Wellington of the 1962 all the way from Odumase Krobo, the pioneers of For me, it's been a very great honor to host Prof this morning. I'm so much excited. Yes, I can't wait for Friday to come. So just in case you just tuned in, it's been the Monday edition of The Breeze. And a very, very wonderful conversation this morning with Professor Ni Adziri Wellington. All about his book launch event taking place on Friday, 1st December 2023 at the Trinity United Church, Legon. So come join us at Trinity United Church, Legon, and let's launch this book titled Auke Bulan Duo and Heritage Tale from Sanche. An uncommon classical and heritage novel put together by Professor Ni Adziri Wellington. He's also the author of Stone Tell Stories Asotu, Memories of a Host Community of the Danish Transatlantic Slave Trade. This is actually his third book. So once again, I would like to use the opportunity to say kudos and big ups to the 1998 year group, Ɔdadeɛ 1998 year group, for putting up a wonderful and a splendid speech and prize giving day event past Saturday. And also as part of their legacy project, giving the school a very beautiful ceremonial grounds. And also kudos to the 1993 year group this weekend, giving the staff of Presec or the staff or the teaching staff of the Presbyterian Boys Secondary School a newly refurbished staff common room and administration block, which has also been handed over to the school as part of their 20th anniversary celebrations since leaving Presec. It's actually a legacy project. So it was an awesome weekend. Lot of activities, lot of fun and excitement, all on Preset Campus to mark the 85th anniversary of the Presbyterian Boys Secondary School. So watch out, Prof will be soon coming up on the personality profile program. We look forward to that. We'll advertise that shortly and let you know when. To watch out for Prof to come tell all his stories, to share all his stories here on the personality profile program on Ɔdadeɛ Radio. So we end the Monday edition of The Breeze. God willing, we are back again on Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 12 midday here on Ɔdadeɛ Radio. On behalf of the production team led by our executive producer, Ɔdadeɛ Zonda and Ɔdadeɛ Edifico. My name is Joseph Otu. You can as well refer to me as DJ Yus. I've been your host and I've been assisted in the studio by Nicholas Anlai. Thank you also out there for joining us with your messages and also watching and on listening on our radio streams as well. Enjoy the very best of the day and stay glued to Ɔdadeɛ Radio. Shine the light wherever you find yourself. I'm out of section.
You are listening to The Breeze live on Ɔdadeɛ Radio.
Ɔdadeɛ Radio. Like us on Facebook at Ɔdadeɛ Radio. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Ɔdadeɛ Radio. You can WhatsApp or call us on 0200 092925.